Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Paul Romero with the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owners Training Review number 12, where we review the training we just received from our upline mentor, Jeff Fagan, who every morning at 7 a.m., Monday through Friday, does the Street Smart Business series, and we're on that call every day, and there's great information every day, and then we come here to create our training series by just piggybacking off of Jeff's information, and that's basically how network marketing works. You just kind of piggyback off your upline for a little while, and then the next thing you know, your downline has left you in the dust, and they're out there making you money. So that's what's so awesome about this. So I got really excited about today's call. Of course, we don't know what Jeff's going to talk about each and every day, but um, today's call just got me going. He basically talked about your daily routine. This right here, big giant glass of water, I think something you ought to incorporate into your morning routine. But he talked about was that Napoleon Hill? Was that out of Think and Grow Rich, John? And sorry, I didn't introduce you right away, but
Ah, Good morning, Paul. It's Monday. What a great, fantastic start to a new week. Yeah, the call this morning was fantastic. And I just want to expand on what Paul said, and the reason why we do these review trainings is because the mother of learning is repetition. And it's a great way to keep reiterating this important information that we get every day by being on these hangouts after that morning call to talk about and mastermind and interact with one another and get Paul's perspective and my perspective on the topics we talk about and kind of share between us in what would be considered mastermind, which is another concept of Napoleon Hill's from Think and Grow Rich. Actually, I'm not quite sure. That was Napoleon Hill's time management system that Jeff talked about this morning. He also has a money management system. We didn't get too much into that one on the call today. I'm not sure if it was from Think and Grow Rich, but I'm very excited about the content of today's call.
yeah, I was just curious if it was from Think and Grow Rich because, quite honestly, I don't remember reading it in the book, and but I was going to make a comment about that if it was from there. That's the exact reason why you hear people talking about reading books over and over again and reading them at different times, and the next time you read it, you get something different out of it. Because if that is in Think and Grow Rich, like I said, I don't remember reading it the first time that I went through the book, so. If it is in there, obviously, it's probably about time for me to read it again. So in today's call, basically, we talked about your day. You know, you've got 24 hours in a day, and he broke it up into the 8 hours that are into three sections, basically, three 8-hour sessions. Obviously, your first 8 hours, is for sleep. Obviously, you have to be well rested if you're going to be functional and successful. Your second 8 hours should be devoted to practicing something that is productive, which is you basically working in your business or at your job if you have a job. Hopefully you've got a business, because if you've got a job you'll never get where you want to go. But yeah, doing things in your business that are important for today, that are working you closer to making money today and making more money. And then the second part, the last 8 hours of free time that you have, was where he was talking about the ultimate importance of that most people don't even consider what they spend these 8 hours on, let alone really have a plan for these 8 hours. And most people just kind of, these 8 hours just sort of, piss away in the wind, really. They just let their day just kind of run them. They just run around in circles, getting, thinking they're getting things done, feeling like they're getting things done, when nothing's really getting done, nothing's really getting accomplished that's of great value. So a very interesting concept how the 8 hours of your free time per day breaks down. And we'll throw it back over to John here to go ahead and if he has a comment on the three 8 hour breakdowns, and to go ahead and start taking us into the first step of your free 8 hours. Go ahead, John.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just want to reiterate that the first block of 8 hours talked about, like Paul said, was about getting 8 hours a day of sleep. That's actually so critical. I could spend 20 minutes just talking about why that's critical. But getting the proper amount of sleep for you, some people might require 6. Most people require 8. I myself, if I get a 6 hours of sleep, I'm great the next day. Less than that, I'm useless. And it really affects how your day goes, getting the proper amount of sleep. So that's something very important to devote that time to each and every day in order to be successful. Number 2, Paul said you got to spend 8 hours of your day being productive, which is, to me, productivity means money making. So 8 hours of my day being concentrated on nothing but tasks that are going to be making me money. And that leads us into the 8 hours left over, which is really the most important, according to Napoleon Hill's time management system. The most important portion of your day is those 8 hours of quote-unquote free time, and how you devote those hours of free time. Those aren't hours to be taken lightly and just, pissed away, so to speak. TV, sitting at a bar, drinking beers, hanging around, accomplishing nothing just to pass the time. Every moment of the day should be spent investing in something. So let's get into how Napoleon Hill's time management system says we should break down these hours. And I'm familiar with this, and it was great to hear this on the call this morning because this is so important to success. So I'll start off by saying let's go with number 1. Spend 1 hour a day of your 8 hours of free time in quiet meditation. And quiet meditation, Napoleon Hill says 10 minutes of that quiet meditation should be spent on your definite major purpose. Everybody should have a purpose, and then spend some time each day planning on how to accomplish that. And think about, what are you doing every day? Why are you getting out of bed? And what are you doing when you get out of bed each and every day to get one step closer to what that definite major purpose is? And if you don't have a definite major purpose, it's probably important that you spend this time thinking about what your definite major purpose in life is. Next, he says spend maybe 10 to 12 minutes every day in contact with the higher infinite intelligence. Whether or not you call it God or the universe or infinite intelligence, realize that there's something outside of yourself that's bigger than who you are, and spend every day in contact with that infinite intelligence. For me, it's God, and for me, it's prayer, and it's getting in an attitude of gratitude and thanking that infinite being and wisdom for all the blessings that we have in our life. I mean, if you look at it, we've got a lot to be thankful for, and we should concentrate 10 minutes every day out of that 1 hour to express gratitude for the blessings that we have in our life. The next little bit of time in that 1 hour, another 10 to 12 minutes, should be spent on self-analysis, identifying your fears and thinking of ways that you can master and conquer those fears, and making plans for overcoming those fears. Number 4, spend 10, 12 minutes on how you can create better harmony in all of your relationships. Relationships in life, relationships in business, Relationships in general are so critical to your success and to your well-being and the feeling good that you should devote some time each and every day within this 1 hour block, 10 minutes, to think of ways you can create better harmony in your relationships. You know, we are what we think. We become what our thoughts are. So it's very important to run through these 5 things and make this a habit, because this is really the stuff that's going to make us who we are and the person that we want to be. And then finally, in this 1 hour block of time, the final 10 to 12 minutes here should be focusing on the things you want and only on the things that you want. You do not, what you focus on expands. So at no point during the day do I think anybody should be focusing on the things they don't want. Rather, you should always be focusing on the things you do want. And for this 1 hour of private, quiet meditation, you should spend 10 to 12 minutes focusing in on the things that you do want and the things that you desire. I'm going to turn it back to Paul because we can go on. I can keep going on with this stuff. I'm sure he wants to add, and then we have a lot more stuff to get through. So take it, Paul.
The only thing I want to add is that I actually thought that this portion of the call this morning was going to take up the entire 20 minutes because it very easily could. The last part there where you were talking about the focusing on the things that you desire, one of the mistakes that people make, very easily make, is that they think they're focusing on things that they want when their mindset is saying things, in their mind they're thinking things like, I don't want to have all these bills anymore, or I don't want to be overweight anymore, or I don't want all these things but they're talking about the things that they don't want, and that's that's not thinking about what you want. When you're thinking about what you want, there is no don't in there. There is no I don't want. Okay, you have to focus purely on, instead of I don't want to be overweight, you want to be thinking I want to be thin. Instead of I don't want to have all these bills anymore, you need to be thinking, I want more money, that these bills are not, an issue in my life anymore. So reframing your questions or reframing your spoken desires into a positive form is a huge, huge factor in the fact that you want to be sending out positive vibrations, not negative vibrations. And so you have to really think about how you think about things. And then also to the fact of this little time to think about what you want is a great thing, a great way to do what we call dream building. And the bigger you build your dream, the more that you're going to be able to achieve. The more you can see, feel, smell, touch, experience the things that you want, the closer that they're getting to you. So, like I said, I actually did hope that Jeff was actually going to just focus on this 1 hour of meditation for the full 20 minutes, but he didn't. So we got to jam on to the second 2 hours of your day. But then when I heard this, I'm like, oh, now he's going to focus on this for the rest of the minutes. But he didn't do that either. But the next 2 hours of the day, but these are huge two full hours of your day devoted just to this, which is called going the extra mile. And going the extra mile is basically just doing things that other people wouldn't expect you to do, and having absolutely no desire for anything, in return for it. I mean, basically, you're just giving 2 hours of your time, which I don't know about you, but I feel like my time is the most precious thing that I have. So you're freely giving 2 hours of your time to other people in just going the extra mile for them in, whatever it is. I mean, like you talked about, is maybe you just read a great article about something that 3 or 4 people popped into your mind going, wow, I think those guys would love this, and you send it over to them, or or maybe somebody that is a little bit down about something, and you just send them an encouraging email or something like that, or maybe pick up the phone and just talk to them for 5 minutes and just boost them with some encouragement and some inspiration. So 2 hours of your day giving away your time to others, that's just an amazing thing that is part of this 8-hour block. So back over to John to hit the next one up.
All right. That 2 hours of time devoted to going above and beyond, going the extra mile, donating your time, helping others, reaching out to friends to be an inspiration and a motivation. That's an amazing thing for people to consider, because definitely one of the things in life is you get in what you put in. You get back in return tenfold what you put out there. And to spend 2 hours doing this without expecting anything in return is a huge part of success and feeling successful. I'm going to go beyond that because I can spend hours talking about how powerful that is. And I think we could devote a whole call to everything we've talked about so far. But the number 3 thing, so far we've spent an hour in quiet meditation. We've spent 2 hours going above and beyond to donate our time, help other people without expecting anything in return. And number 3, or what are we at? The 4th hour should be 1 hour devoted to studying and reading about self-improvement. You know, one of my affirmations every day is I am a student. I am open to learning, because it is so critical that you never stop learning, you never stop reading new books and devouring material and studying your notes. You know, right now as we're doing this phone call, I have this in my hand. And when Paul's talking, I'm taking notes about how he viewed these concepts, because he's got a different little bit of a take. So the reason I bring that up is because everybody should be taking notes daily. Like, don't trust things to your memory, but then study those notes and spend 1 hour a day studying and reading self-development books, studying your notes from courses and hangouts and things such as this, which brings us to the 4th block of time. Do you want to add anything to what I said, Paul, or should I just go into the next one and turn it back over?
No, I want to throw one thing in on that. Studying and reading, as you brought up, is studying and reading about self-development, et cetera, and so on, expanding yourself, expanding your own experience, expanding yourself as a person. You know, if you're not learning and growing, you're dying. You know, we are all part of nature, and I mean, just look at any plant out there. If it's not growing, what is it doing? It's dying. There's only 2 things you can be doing. You can either be going forward or backward. Nothing in this world ever stands still, because everything is energy, and energy is constantly moving. So I just wanted to add in the fact of studying and learning self-development, but you can also spend a little bit of this time, very important, to studying and learning your industry of your business, because you do also have to be a master of your market and your business world and what's going on in and around that. So very important that that gets included as well too. You know, so because you're not gonna be very successful in your business if you have no clue what it's all about and what's going on around you and what's affecting it. Okay, so so that's 4 hours of your 8 hours of free time. You've got 4 hours left. Now, 1 final hour of that should be dedicated to be spent with your Mastermind Alliance. And this, too, is another huge thing, because, you know, Napoleon Hill talks about, and it's spoken about in many other places as well, too, that, you know, one mind joined together with others become one mind. You know, in other words, you know, more people or whatever in the room thinking about one thing, you know, you create one giant ball of energy, so to speak, focusing on a certain subject. To kind of put that into perspective on how huge it is, it's said that, you know, if you put 2 horses together, they run faster than 1 horse, right? But they don't run twice as fast. 2 horses together actually run 3 times as fast as one horse. So, and that's the exponential potential that a mastermind group has when you get 2 or more people together of like-minded thought processes. The possibilities just open up exponentially. So spending an hour a day with your mastermind group is huge, and I'm going to throw it back to John to express on that a little bit further because we're getting just about out of time here.
All right, absolutely. Yeah, I see we're right at 20 minutes, so I'll kind of go quick with what I want to say, which is hard to do because this time management system in Napoleon Hills is so critically important to success, and there's so many things to talk about within this system and expand on. We're talking about masterminds and then the importance of spending an hour a day in your mastermind alliance. That's exactly what we're doing here today. To agree on, we're spending 20 minutes masterminding and interacting together, throwing some of these ideas back and forth, and it's just growing the ideas in my mind and expanding on what I already know and giving me a different point of view and a different perspective from other people's point of view, which is so huge to learning. And if you don't have an alliance of what's the word I'm looking for? Like-minded individuals that you can call up out of the blue, spend 5-10 minutes on the phone with, tossing an idea back and forth. You need to find those people. So you need to spend an hour a day, if you don't have a mastermind, trying to find people, relationships to mastermind with. So just that's my little 2 cents on how important a mastermind is. And finally, we've got 3 hours left, which is to do whatever you want. This is to go out and if you want to crack here or watch TV and that's how you want to spend the last 3 hours of your day, so be it. I look at those other 3 hours personally as 3 more hours for productivity because I don't have days. I'm in it for 10 to 12 hours a day out there trying to make money. But I think that kind of goes through everything. We're already 2 minutes over. Paul, anything you want to add, or should I go into the Napoleon Hill prayer?
Just want to say that it's funny how 3 hours left just happens to be the time that it takes to play a round of golf. Go ahead and take us out of here, John.
All right. Well, everybody have a great week. Speaking of masterminds, we want to get more people on these calls and even start bringing maybe more people in to participate in these calls. So me and Paul will be sending out emails and reaching out to more people to invite them here. And if you happen to see this on YouTube, please leave us comments on the video link of what you think of the calls, any suggestions on what we can do better, and send us your email addresses so we can invite you to these things so you can be here live and get in on some participation. With that being said, have a fantastic week, and I'm going to end this as we always do with the Napoleon Hill prayer, which goes, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but more wisdom with which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth, consisting in the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I might desire." You know what? People really think about what that prayer means. We can probably spend hours masterminding on that. So have a great week. Bye-bye, and I'll see you all Wednesday at